There's a country in the Caucasus where wine is 8,000 years old, the hospitality is borderline overwhelming, and a full dinner with natural wine costs less than a coffee in London. Georgia, not the state, the country. And right now, it might be the most interesting place on earth to travel. Georgia sits at the intersection of Europe and Asia, bordered by Russia to the north, Turkey and Armenia to the south, and the Black Sea to the west. For most of history, it was a crossroads. For trade, for religion, for armies moving between empires. That history is written into everything here. In the script, which looks like no other alphabet on earth. In the churches carved into cliffsides in the 6th century. In the way a grandmother will sit a stranger down at her table without being asked and start bringing food. The capital, Tbilisi, is built along the Metkvari River in a valley that feels almost Mediterranean. Warm stone, wrought iron balconies, sulphurous baths steaming in the city. But climb 20 minutes out of the center and you're standing in fortress ruins with the Caucasus Mountains on the horizon. The thing that surprises most visitors isn't the landscape or the architecture, it's the food and wine. Georgia is arguably the birthplace of wine. The 8,000-year-old tradition of fermenting grapes in clay vessels called khachapuri was added to UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage list in 2013. The wines here are amber-colored, tannic, alive in a way that's completely different from anything you'd find in a Western European cellar. And the food, khachapuri, bread filled with cheese and egg, is the kind of dish that makes you reconsider everything you thought you knew about breakfast. Khinkali, giant soup dumplings, are eaten by hand, holding the top, biting carefully so the broth doesn't escape. A full dinner for two, with wine, rarely costs more than $20. In Tbilisi, in 2024, beyond the capital, Georgia unfolds into something wilder. The Svaneti region in the northwest is one of the least visited mountain territories in Europe. Medieval tower houses rising from villages that see snow 8 months of the year. The road to get there is not for the faint-hearted, but what waits at the end looks like a landscape that time lost me addressed to. In Kakheti, the wine country to the east, you can stay in a family guest house, walk through the vineyards in the morning, and spend the afternoon in a 4th century monastery that's still intact. This is a country where the ancient and the everyday exist in the same breath. Georgia is changing fast. International arrivals have grown dramatically over the past 3 years. New hotels are opening, prices are starting to rise, but the warmth is still there, the wine is still there, the mountains are still there. If you go, and I think you should, fly into Tbilisi, give yourself at least 10 days, and say yes to everything a local offers you to eat or drink. Say yes, especially to the wine. And one practical thing before you go, what I actually use when I travel anywhere, including Georgia, PalmPay. It's a virtual card built for everyday purchases, groceries, cafes, transport, that bottle of amber wine at the local market. No physical card to lose, no foreign transaction stress, just your card on your phone ready when you need it. Link is in the description. Now go plan that trip.